So when I originally set up and installed my turbo and wastegate actuator, I had the turbo unit out of the motorcycle and sitting on the bench, and I was able to hook up the wastegate actuator and tested one of the springs and adjust the preload on it and set it all up and installed on the motorcycle. So that was giving me about 8 psi of boost, and that was good for the beginning of the year and just to get the bike running and get it tuned up fairly well. Now I wanted to get that up to about 10 psi, and it's a real pain in the ass to take the whole turbo off the bike. Probably half a day's work to take it out, and then you mess up the exhaust gaskets and everything. So I just took the actuator off, but it's hard to test without being able to apply some preload to it. So I built this little jig, and it just holds the wastegate actuator in place, allows you to take it out and put it back in. And then inside, you can possibly maybe see, there's the nut that's on the shaft for the wastegate, and there's a little piece of tubing in here that hooks on that nut. And then down here, I can adjust the preload. Right now, it's virtually at 0 preload. I can just turn it by hand. And then I've got a setup here with a gauge and a regulator, and so I can turn the regulator and just get it. Well, I had 0 preload, so I lost my little hook, but if you watch as I turn up, you can just see the actuator moving. So I'll try and get this both in the shot at the same time. So I've got 7 millimeters of preload on that spring now, and I can just see it moving when I've got almost 8 psi. So its cracking pressure now is about 8 psi. And if I put it at 10 to 11, I've got about 1/4 of an inch of travel. And I think that's about all it really uses. So I'm going to test that. Hopefully I get about 10 psi of boost.